Hello guys, and welcome back to Makeup FOMO. Today we are using the Subculture palette. I have decided to give it another chance, see how I like it. I've actually been using it for a couple days and I'm showing you one of the looks here. So I am so excited. We are starting off with the shade Dawn, and it's a little darker than like your traditional cream bone shade, but I'm just using that to set my whole lid. And then with the shade Mercury, I love this shade. This might be one of my favorite shades in the palette. It's just a really cool toned and just like cool looking gray shade. And I feel like a lot of palettes don't have gray toned, like purpley grays like this. So I absolutely love this color. And I just started that all in the crease, kind of blew it out all the way from the outer corner, and I kind of drug it into the inner corner as well. And then with the shade Roxy, I also really like this shade, but as y'all probably know in a lot of my most recent videos, I've been loving mixing like warmer and cooler tone shades together. I just love that contrast, so I used Roxy on the same blending brush, and I just blew that out right above the Mercury shade just to kind of contrast those two colors, and I thought it looked so cool. And then with Rowdy, okay, so I started applying this, and then my cat, she's huge, jumped up on the table right in front of me, and I just thought everything was gonna go flying, so I panicked, but then it was really cute. So that's my cat Nala. But anyway, so I have the shade Rowdy on like this really small, tapered, detailed blending brush from e.l.f., and I'm just blending that in the outer third of my eye, and then as you can see, I'm kind of like sideways blending it, kind of towards like the center of my lid. So basically that shade covers the outer like third and then kind of fades into like the middle half. And I kind of drug it a tiny bit into the crease as well, but not too much. So then with the shade New Wave, this is such a cool like yellowy, orangey, like mustard shade. Seriously, all the shades in this palette are so unique and I just love it. So I kind of mixed that on top of Roxy, but also a little bit higher. Again, just with the warm tones and the cool tones, I thought this made a really cool color. As much as this palette got hate, I just think the shades in this palette are so unique and so cool. And yeah, you definitely need to think about the shades you're using and kind of plan out your look, which is not for everybody, but in general, I just think that these shades can lead to some really cool looks. So as you can see, I'm just reapplying the shade Mercury just right in the crease with that small brush again, just to kind of add that gray back in there. And then with the shade Adorn, there's only 3 shimmer shades in this palette, but this is by far my favorite shade in the palette in terms of shimmer shades. It is such a pretty, like, kind of rose gold, kind of bronzy. It's really unique and really pretty. It doesn't have a ton of like actual pigment. It's just a lot of just colored glitter. But I didn't even wet my brush or use any kind of glitter glue. I just applied this straight onto my eyelid, and it just was so pigmented and like kind of metallic-y, and it packed a lot of punch. And I loved how this like warmer kind of bronzy shade paired with like the purple and the gray in the crease and the outer lid. I loved it. And then with the new Wet n Wild Written in the Stars highlighter from their Zodiac collection, I just had that on hand. That's actually the highlighter I have on my face. And since this palette doesn't really have a highlight shade, I just used this on my brow bone and also on my inner corners. It was a little bit stark, so I decided to just blend it out a little bit to kind of blend with the crease shades before I went to my inner corners. And then as you'll see, I kind of drug it a little bit onto like the first third of my lower lash line as well, just to add a little extra brightness. And then I just used Roxy and New Wave. I just mixed them both on my brush, and I just struck that on the lower lash line, keeping the lower lash line pretty warm toned, and I didn't want this to be super smoky, so I just used both of those on my lower lash line. So overall, I am completely in love with this palette. I had some qualms with it at first, like most people did, but I am so glad that I gave it another chance because I have been loving the looks that I have been coming up with. And honestly, the quality of this palette I think is way better than some of the ones many people have gotten, so I'm loving this so far. As you guys can see, I just used my L'Oreal Kohl eyeliner. I tightlined, and then I also put some on my waterline. And then I'm curling my lashes and using my Tarteist mascara, which I love. I put this on the upper and lower lashes. This is just super dark, but it's good at separating. So it's one of those, I feel like, few mascaras you can actually use on the top and the bottom lashes. And so then I just wanted to show you guys my palette because I've been using this for a few days before filming this video, and I used like 5 or 6 of the shades in this video. And as you can see, my palette is perfectly clean. There's not a ton of fallout in the pans, and even on my face you can see there was no fallout. So yeah, I didn't have any of those issues that a lot of people had, and I'm so glad because this is the final look, and I just love the way that it came out. I love the contrast of the shades, and I think that they blended and worked perfectly well together, and it's kind of smoky but still very wearable, and I absolutely love it. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed, and thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I will catch you guys in our next video. Bye guys!